Good people, good people, good people. Welcome back to the Gumptown Podcast, episode 150. I'm Doug B. If you tuned in to this podcast, thank you for your time and your attention. I really appreciate you giving it a shot. Today's guest is the owner and operator of Legacy Barber and Style. I'm looking forward to this conversation, and I'm sure we'll all be inspired by his story. Let's chop it up with Ron Baker. Ron, how's it going, man?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Glad to hear
Hot,
that. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Definitely hot. Definitely hot. Well, hey, I want to thank you, first things first, for taking time out of your schedule to chop it up with me. I really appreciate it.
man. Again, I thank you all for choosing us and choosing me to speak with. So it's an honor.
Yes, sir. Of course, here to talk about all the great things you're doing with Legacy, Barber, and Style. But before we talk business, let's get to know the man behind the brand. Born and raised in Jackson, Michigan. What was your upbringing like?
Uh, it was pretty cool. I mean, uh, I got a couple. I got an older brother, older sister, but they were probably out of the house by that time. But it was cool. I mean, it wasn't too bad. Me and my mom, we grew. She did the best to raise me. So shout out to my mom.
Okay. Yes, sir. Much respect to mom. And just looking at the population, it's a smaller city in Michigan. So is it safe to
Yes.
assume you grew up in a close-knit village?
Yes, well, yeah, everybody know everybody in Jackson pretty much, and we moved around a few times in a small city, but I lived on just about every side. East, well, I lived every side but the east side, north, south, and west side. We lived on, and everybody still know everybody. It's just a small town. You know what I mean. So everybody know everybody. Everybody related.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah. Those growing up in those small times, those small towns, those villages, close-knit villages, like you said, everybody know everybody and just made, it just, I'm pretty sure y'all had a great sense of community, like everybody collaborated and worked together.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Smaller cities, we stick together. We have our bouts from time to time, but collectively, the city was they rep the city strong. So there's a great pride that comes out of Jackson, although it's a small town. It's just like having that small man type of complex that some people have. The smaller city, we were always trying to prove that we were strong. And so Jackson, I shout out to Jackson, man. They played a major part. The city of Jackson played a major part in who I am.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Good stuff. So you do your schooling up there in Jackson, Michigan. Did you make your way down to Tuskegee, Alabama? Did you experience any culture shock coming from Michigan to Alabama?
Well, quite not. Well, uh, my brother went to Central State in Ohio, and because he went to Central State, and then I was fortunate to have a few African American teachers in Michigan who uh, kind of, they kind of did the groundwork in Black Pride during that time, and so I had a strong desire to attend HBCU, and just fortunately, it was a blessing that I was able to even get in Tuskegee because my grades were not good at all. But I was able to get in, and I was accepted on a waiver, and then I went there for about a year. And then after that, I left because my study habits weren't that great. And then I joined the military, and then I came back to try to go to Tuskegee.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So that year that you were at Tuskegee, what was that HBCU experience like for you?
Uh, Second to none. I think what they do at HBCUs is phenomenal. It's a little bit harder. It's a little bit of an adjustment culturally, and especially if you come from cities naturally from up north and the west. Uh, a lot of times, growing up north, there's a different view on the south, and uh, it's an unfortunate view on the south because they speculate how people are in the South. But I was thankful to have my mother, and I was thankful to be down here to be able to appreciate and understand the cultural differences in the South and how they do things. So I like HBCUs.
Yes, sir. I agree wholeheartedly, Ron. The HBCU experience is second to none. I went to ASU, so just like Skiggy, just going to the HBCU and just getting a chance to see people who look like you and I from all over, the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, like yourself from the South, and you just come together and just create those lifelong memories. And I'm pretty sure you were able to build some friendships and relationships in that one year at Skiggy that you probably still have to this day.
No doubt. we got a group on Facebook now, and we keep in touch with each other on Facebook Messenger. There's about 15 of us in that group that all came in freshman year together, and we still keep in contact to this day. We all consider each other brothers. So yes, it was definitely an experience.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So you, after you extend that Tuskegee, you join the military. I want to first thank you for your service.
Oh man, you welcome. Hey, glad to serve. You know, at that now, now.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So you got a chance to serve in the military. And what were some what were some of your most memorable duty stations you got a chance to serve at while you were
Uh,
enlisted?
well, I served in one duty station. I was a bomb holder, Germany. So my after boot camp, and then AIT, Advanced Individual Training, I was sent to Germany, and that's where I was at. And Germany, Europe, was an experience for me. Never been out of the country. That was the first time I was out of the country, and I enjoyed that time over there. I got to see different cultures and meet new people and travel.
Okay, sounds good. You was over there in Germany, getting exposed to the overseas life. Did you try any exotic food while you were over there, or did you keep it pretty kept it in the road?
Well, after I did, because the German food uh is not it's not my favorite, and so I didn't go too exotic. I did try some of their food, but I tried to stick more with what I did know. But they have gyros or gyros or whatever they call them here. They have some of those over there. So I did. They call them kebabs, and so those are that's what I ate over there sometimes. But I didn't do too much experimenting.
I don't blame you, Ron. I probably would have been on the same type of time. I mean, you know, overseas, you know, they have different cuisines, different seasonings, and I've had a chance to travel overseas for work, being a contractor for the Air Force, and just going to some of them places and some of the stuff they eat over there. You're like, yeah, I'll pass on that. I'm stick with the chicken and the beef that
Right,
I'm familiar with, you know.
right. That's definitely right.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So you serve your time in the military, and now present day, you are the owner, operator of Legacy Barber and Style. What y'all got going on over there?
Man, we're growing. The situation down there is growing with the city. I was blessed to just be part, because originally uh, in 2019, I think it was 2019, Golden Shears had that building, and the owner, Reggie Miller, he was the owner, and I was working for Reggie. I was the manager of his shop, and he came, and his business was growing, and he asked me if I was interested in taking over the location. And so I was able to be afforded to take over basically a turnkey shop. So I didn't actually found everything in there. Uh, he just he just, his heart, gave an opportunity to someone like myself. He entrusted me with it, and then I was able to get established downtown, the downtown area. So I make sure, I always try to make sure that I give credit to, of course, the Lord, but yet still how the Lord works through different people to provide ways. And Reggie really exemplified giving back to the community. So before I say what's going on, I wanted to understand people to understand how I got my start. Uh, he opened the door for me, and then from then I was able to take what he already had and build upon that. And so now Legacy Barber and Style is doing just that, trying to keep the legacy alive, not only in the barber industry as well as in the community, as well as in the family. We're trying to present something like that to everyone.
Okay, and much respect to you for paying homage to Reggie and mentioning the fact that he pretty much he started and you pretty much just continued to carry the torch. You took the baton and ran with it. So that's salute to you because I had no idea that was how the barbershop came along. So much respect to you for giving him that credit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It wouldn't be like it was without if he not laid he laid the groundwork. And so when you come into the barbershop, there's a picture of it when the shop actually got started. And but we're in our third year in ownership, my wife and I. So she operates as well downtown with me. She just works on the other side of the building where she does more natural hair. It's called Legacy Locks. That's what she does.
Okay, good stuff. Husband and wife, teamwork make the dream work. Love to hear it, Ron.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, sir. So you opened up in March 2021, and now, like you said, to your point, 3 years and counting, still rocking and rolling, still doing great things. So take us back,
Yes.
Ron. When did you first develop your love for barbering?
Uh, Probably. Well, I enjoyed barbering when I was a child. I just didn't get into it, but my uncle used to take me to the barber shop back in Jackson, and uh, and then that was just kind of the place that the kids could hang out while you waited for your haircut, and it was something that my mother tried to encourage me to do. I just wasn't That wasn't a profession that was highly looked upon when I was young, not like it is now. And so when they was asking everybody what they wanted to be, of course, we would say doctors, lawyers, teachers, and things like that. But in actuality, a barber is what I really wanted to do. But it just came around, man. About 20 years ago, I kind of stepped out and really started cutting. My wife was going to school for cosmetology. I went to one of those hair shows with her, the Bronner Brothers in Atlanta, and I got kind of got captivated by the barber area and wanted to pursue barbering. And so I just uh, put my time in and started and learned and tried to learn and self-taught pretty much to cut hair.
Okay, that's good stuff. So it's just something that started as a child, and you just carried that on into adulthood, and now you're getting a chance to serve the community with your gift. And yeah, run the barbershop, man. You know what the barbershop is for the fellas. It's the same thing the hair salon is for the ladies. It's just a place you can come back, you can come kick back and just have a good time, talk about sports. I don't know if y'all talk about politics. I don't talk about politics, but talk about sports and talk about music and just all that good stuff. So I'm pretty sure I haven't made it down there yet, but just from what I've heard, you got a family friendly, clean cut vibe down there.
Well, we try to, because we have all kind of classes of people come in, ethnicities, all kind of stuff. We don't do a whole lot of talking about politics. If we do, a lot of times we joking, but we try to steer away from that because we don't want to offend anybody on the politician way. But discussions do come up, and being a barbershop is one of those safe havens where you can kind of talk about different things, even though they tell you not to talk about politics. Uh, it's a safe haven for us, though. You know, we all understand that we barbershop allows you to express your opinion, and we don't hold. I don't hold anybody against anything. They're not forced to believe anything, and I'm not forced to believe anything. But good, respectable dialogue that doesn't cause controversy or arguments. Uh, that's all we try to do. But man, sometimes we get heated in a sports conversation. But that's the barbershop. You know, we
Right.
keep it respectful.
Right. And that's what it's all about, Ron. I mean, just having those heated debates as long as you're respectful. And that's, like you said, to your point, the barbershop just being that safe haven. It's like long before, well, at least in our community, long before therapy and going to therapy became a thing. Like the barbershop is just like your therapy session. You got a chance to just kick it and just release and just talk about things at the workplace and things just going on in your life. And it just sounds like you just continue just carry that tradition of that safe haven for men to come and get a cut and have some good conversation. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's what we aim to do.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So whenever I have entrepreneurs on the platform like yourself, I like to talk about three things: the aha moment, action, and audacity. Take us back to that moment when you had the idea to take over the barbershop from Reggie and continue to run it.
Well, he I wasn't expecting it, but he came and had a meeting with me, and he just was kind of telling me the direction that he wanted to go. And when it was presented, you know, I just felt like this is an opportunity I wouldn't be able to pass up on. It's not too many times. It can be very challenging to start a barbershop. It can be very challenging to start a business in general. But when you're blessed to be in connection with someone or something or some people that can help assist in the groundwork, it was kind of a no-brainer for me. Uh, the location is where I wanted to be. I wanted to be downtown because it supported my vision as well, and that's diversity. and inclusion of diversity, although still maintaining and not, compromising what I believe in my stance as an African American, yet still being able to still welcome in the diverse crowds and be able to accept what they say and understand one another. So it was a no brainer for me. Uh, I've always wanted my own. I wanted to drive. Not everybody can do that, or it's not everybody, but I took the responsibility and ran with it.
Okay, sounds good. Good stuff. And like you said, you always wanted to do it. It was a no-brainer. And just from that moment when you decided to take over and continue to carry that torch, how long did it take you to get everything together in terms of finding a location and coming up and yeah, and actually getting started in business and operating as the owner? How long did that take?
Well, again, the decision was brought in. Let's see. So seven. It took about 7 months, for 7 to 8 months, for everything to get solidified. Just to kind of take it on. He had already, because he was working on another location at the casino area, and so he wasn't really in the shop as much. So I was really maintaining the shop, but he was still helping us out, helping me out with the payment, making sure everything was good, like a partner. But then once everything was transitioned over to me, I took the full load on. So it took about a 6 to 7 months, maybe 7 months worth of to get prepared. So by in March, that's how we did it. March 2021, we had a sign up, we had a new lease signed, and then we were wide open. So the transition wasn't as difficult because the groundwork was already laid, and people were kind of familiar with the barbershop. I just kind of tweaked some things and made it more my style, and ran with that again.
Okay, sounds good. 7 months. Yeah, 7 months fly by. 7 months feel like 7 days these days. So
Yeah,
that
quick,
wasn't
quick.
that wasn't a long period of time at all. So that's good. So you got right to it and got the, like I said, picked up the baton and kept running with it and got the barbershop. Barbershop still rocking and rolling. The last portion,
Yes.
I the last portion, audacity. It's one thing to have an idea, put action behind it. And I know you said you are always passionate about cutting hair, but to take on this task of continue to carry the torch, that courage, that audacity to do that, where did that courage, that audacity come from?
Well, um, having a family, I'm a family. I provide for my family, and so being a man that believes that I should take care of my family, uh, I just knew that they were depending on me, and they depend on me a lot to make decisions, and so I wasn't going to be failure wasn't an option, and so I felt like this would be an opportunity to be a part of the historical city downtown, and my family being a part of it. That's why my wife and I, actually, my wife came up with the name Legacy. It wasn't, I didn't even consider the fact that they had Legacy Museum down there, but it was just because we wanted to present a legacy, something we wanted a new story, and we wanted to make sure we were able to pass this down. So when she came up with the name Legacy, that pretty much you is pretty much you pushing I'm pushed out there to do that. And so, and there wasn't no fail in it, man. Failure wasn't an option for me. If in entrepreneurship, you're going to run against some adversity. You're gonna fail from time to time. They're going to be, but the drive in the entrepreneur, you just got to figure out a different way to go about things. Everything that I did, I didn't just, it wasn't a one answer thing. I failed before, and I knew that failure, if it happens, you got to just dust yourself off. But eventually, you're going to learn from that. And so, this particular time, how everything was presented to me, with everything that came along with the baton, failure wasn't an option because I had a lot more riding on it beside myself. I also was carrying on the legacy in which was passed on to me, and so I'm thankful. I thank the Lord each day for the opportunity that He presented me, and hopefully that gave somebody something to go off of. You just got to have a winner attitude, man. Like you just got to want to win, and I
Mm.
want to win.
Yes, sir. Powerful
It's
stuff. Powerful stuff. So it just sounds like you gave yourself that audacity. Like you said, you got a family that's depending on you. So you had to do what you had to do. You had to pick up the baton and carry on the torch. Legacy Barbershop. Hats off to the missus for coming up with that name. Very simple and powerful name. Just the word legacy itself has so much power behind it, you know?
Yes, yes. And our company was called Baker Legacies. And so she said, well, why not just name the barbershop Legacy? I said, you know what? There it is. And so that's what we went with. That's our company name, and that's the shop name. And so exactly what you just said is exactly why we went with it, because we want to build a legacy in Montgomery. Montgomery got so much history, man. Uh, some sad history, but so much powerful and rich history for the African American community. And just to be on that street, to be on the only black owned business on that block where black owned businesses used to only be able to operate, we're the only African American business that's on that block. And so Rosa Parks used to pass through our building to be able to get to her job on the other side. So we just continuing the legacy, man. We are part of the history of Montgomery, and we want to make sure that we stamp that, with the city and those who patronize us. We appreciate them as well, and you for reaching out to us, or whoever referred us. I'm thankful for that, because it's an honor, man, just to even be able to speak to you on your show and the wonderful things you're doing about the city.
Yes, sir. I appreciate those words and I appreciate everything that you just said. And yeah, and like you said, you're making history, only black owned business on the block, doing y'all thing, rocking and rolling, downtown, a prominent area, a lot of visibility. And it's just great to see a barbershop down there, a black owned barbershop down there in the heart of the city. So that's great. And I appreciate you for sharing that tidbit. And the barbershop, you've done great things with the barbershop. I know great things are coming down the pipeline, which leads to my next portion, vision. What are some of your short term and long term goals you feel comfortable sharing for the barbershop?
Well, uh, short term is just kind of short term for me is going to be probably just to continue and expand diversity wise. Uh, that's we just want to make sure that we still are keeping that thing the main thing, and also long term, uh, we may possibly branch out to look at some other places. But long term wise, I just want, like, the long term and the short term goals are similar. Uh, I would like to have some more diverse barbers in the barbershop if possible. But yet still, the barbers that we have right now are more than capable to be able to suit the needs of everybody from whatever ethnicity it is. We just take pride in the fact that we're able to serve whoever, without, again, compromising who we are individually. And so each one of those guys are independent contractors, and each one of those guys work diligently downtown. So they're a part of the vision. They support the vision. They support the mission. And we just whatever the Lord has for us, man, we ready to walk through it.
Yes, sir. Powerful stuff. Those are great goals, both short term and long term. And I have no doubt you'll continue to expand and do great things with the barbershop.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
We're striving to do that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And speaking of making history, I was doing some due diligence like in the midst of our interview, and I know you said you from Jackson, Michigan. Like, so I just learned a fun fact. I know I've never been to Michigan, so but I have heard about Coney Island. I just read that the first Coney Island was opened in Jackson, Mississippi. I mean Jackson, Michigan. My bad. That's
Oh
historic.
yeah, yeah, man. That's the story. We got a couple of story things, but that Coney Island, we got some of the best Coney dogs in the state, probably in the country. Uh, them Coney dogs jumping. I'll give you one more history fact. The first black head coach to win the Super Bowl, Tony Dungy, is born and raised in Jackson, Michigan. So
Nice.
Tony Dungy, and there's some more brothers out there that's done some great things. Actually, one of my schoolmates, he's a head coach in the Canadian Football League. James Stanley, he's another brother who came out of Jackson who's doing some big things. But Tony Dungy was the first African American head coach to win a Super Bowl. Actually, the two head coaches were both black, Tony Dungy and Lovie Smith. And so they competed against each other. But yes, Tony Dungy is from Jackson, Michigan, and he played ball in Jackson. And so that's another fact for you, just to throw that in.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, Tony Dungy, legendary Hall of Fame NFL coach. You're right. Won the Super Bowl with the Colts. Yep, I see him. He's a notable person from Jackson, Michigan. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yes,
I never
sir.
met him. I never met him, but he got a lot of cousins down there, so I'm sure I met some of his cousins because they all, the Dungeons is a big family, so they related to a lot of people.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And man, that's powerful stuff. So yeah, Ron, as we wrap up the podcast, I want to ask the $1 million question. I started this podcast to highlight the greatness connected to the city of Montgomery. Whether you were born here or lived here for a significant period of your life, be it military, college, or work, you living here, operating in business here in the Gump. I want to ask you, Ron, what do you appreciate the most about the city of Montgomery?
Really, I appreciate the history of Montgomery the most. I really do appreciate the history, and uh, and I appreciate the people, the citizens of Montgomery. Got some good people here in Montgomery. That welcome you in. The Southern hospitality is real in Montgomery. So those are some of the things that I really appreciate. I appreciate the history, and I appreciate the people of Montgomery uh, that don't get spotlighted. There's some good people here, very good people here.
Yes, sir. Powerful stuff. So how can the people connect with you, Ron? What are your social media handles and website?
Uh, well, on Facebook, you can find us at Legacy Barber and Style, as well as on Instagram, we have Legacy Barber Style, or you Ron the Barber on Legacy. Those are our two platforms, and also our website. Our website is phenomenal. Legacy Legacy Barber and Style. Amen. That's on at legacy.com. So you can go to our website. We actually have a pretty decent website, nice website that my cousin put together for us that allows you to see everything that's going on in the shop.
Okay, sounds good. And of course, I'll put all the information in the description of the episode. Hey, Ron, thanks again for the conversation. I really appreciate you.
Man, thank you for having me, Doug. I appreciate you extending this time for me to talk. I really appreciate it. And I hopefully, and I pray that your vision is going in the direction that you want it to go and reach the masses. I really like what you got going on.
Yes, sir. Likewise. The people, that concludes another dope episode of the Gumtown Podcast. In the meantime, in between time, y'all know what to do. Be blessed, be safe, but most importantly, have the audacity to be you. Go on.